The ultimatum. The crystalline spires of the Galactic Consortium's central chamber pierced the violet sky of Nexus Prime, their surfaces refracting light in impossible patterns. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood before the Committee of Evolution, her heart steadied despite the gravity of the moment. The 13 members of the committee, beings of pure energy, crystalline constructs, and forms that defied human comprehension, loomed above her on floating platforms of light. Species, human. Planet, Earth. Status, evolutionary anomaly. Announced first speaker Zix, its voice resonating through the chamber like crystal chimes. Your kind represents a threat to the established order of galactic evolution. Sarah maintained her composure, though her fingers tightened imperceptibly around the diplomatic datapad she held. After 6 months of deliberations, the consortium had reached its verdict, one that would determine the fate of 8 billion souls on Earth. We have studied your species extensively, continued second speaker Ven, its plasma form pulsing with cold blue light. Your rate of adaptation exceeds all known parameters. Your technological progression defies predictive models. Your genetic diversity suggests the potential for unprecedented evolutionary branching. These are strengths, Sarah countered, her voice clear and unwavering. Humanity's ability to adapt and innovate has solved problems that have plagued other species for millennia. We've developed medical techniques that work across species barriers, environmental restoration methods that... Silence. Third speaker Ixel's crystalline form flashed crimson. Your very response demonstrates the danger. You question. You challenge. You refuse to accept your place in the natural order. The chamber hummed with energy as data streams flickered between the committee members. Sarah recognized the signs. They were sharing thoughts at speeds her human mind couldn't comprehend. But she didn't need to understand their silent communication to know what was coming. Humanity's chaotic evolution threatens the stability of all advanced species, first speaker Zix announced. Your potential for unpredictable change could destabilize millennia of carefully guided evolution. Therefore, by unanimous decision of the committee, Earth and its primary species are hereby sentenced to extinction. The sentence will be carried out in 30 standard cycles. Sarah's training hadn't prepared her for this moment. Not really. How could it? She was standing before beings who had appointed themselves the architects of evolution, and they had just sentenced her entire species to death. You fear us, she said softly, the realization dawning even as she spoke, not for what we are, but for what we might become. The chamber's temperature dropped several degrees. Your statement proves our point. Second speaker Ven pulsed angrily. You dare to psychoanalyze beings who achieved perfection while your ancestors were still learning to make fire. Sarah straightened her spine, her dark eyes reflecting the shifting lights of the chamber. Perfection. Is that what you call it? You've engineered yourselves into static forms, removed everything you considered inefficient or unpredictable. You've eliminated chaos from your existence, and with it, the ability to truly grow. You will be escorted from the chamber, first speaker Zix commanded. The sentence stands. 30 cycles. Use them to make peace with your extinction. As crystalline guards moved to flank her, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. They had given humanity 30 days, likely expecting them to spend it in panic or futile preparation. But they had made a crucial mistake. They had shown their hand. What the committee didn't know, what their perfect predictive models had failed to account for, was that humanity had been preparing for this day for decades. Deep beneath the ice of Europa, behind the storms of Jupiter, and in hidden bases throughout the solar system, humanity had been getting ready. The committee thought they were pronouncing a death sentence. Instead, they had just initiated humanity's greatest evolution yet. As Sarah walked from the chamber, her stride was purposeful. She had a message to send, and Project Phoenix was waiting to be awakened. The consortium had planned humanity's extinction, but they were about to learn why humans had survived every catastrophe their planet had thrown at them. After all, humanity's greatest strength wasn't just their ability to adapt. It was their absolute refusal to accept any limits placed upon them, even by beings who thought themselves gods. The hidden arsenal. Deep within Europa's icy crust, Admiral Elena Reyes stood in Command Center Omega, watching Sarah Chen's transmission play out before the assembled leaders of Earth's secret defense initiative. The chamber, carved from Europa's ancient ice and reinforced with quantum crystalline supports, held representatives from every major nation on Earth. Their faces were illuminated by the soft blue glow of holographic displays, showing humanity's response to extinction. Operation Prometheus is no longer theoretical, Elena announced, her voice carrying the weight of 2 decades of preparation. As of this moment, we are at war. She pressed her palm against a biometric scanner, and the massive ice wall behind her became transparent. Gasps echoed through the chamber as lights activated in sequence, revealing a vast cavern stretching for kilometers. Row after row of ships unlike anything publicly known to exist hung in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. 15 years ago, we recovered a crashed consortium scout ship in the Atacama Desert, Elena continued. But that wasn't our first contact with advanced technology. For decades, we've been gathering fragments, studying crashes, and reverse engineering anything we could find. The consortium thought they were being careful, letting us discover just enough to guide our evolution along their preferred path. Instead, they gave us the tools for our survival. Dr. Marcus Wong, chief scientist of Project Prometheus, stepped forward. His weathered face bore the marks of countless sleepless nights spent unlocking the secrets of alien technology. The consortium believes their technology is perfect because it's pure, he said, activating a holographic display. Each species develops tech that matches their neural architecture. The crystalline beings use crystalline interfaces. The plasma entities use energy-based systems. They're all perfect for their users. The hologram showed a complex web of interconnected systems, a fusion of technologies that should have been incompatible. But humans, Marcus continued, his eyes bright with excitement, we don't just adapt to one system. Our brains can learn to process multiple alien control systems simultaneously. Where they see purity, we see potential for synthesis. The display shifted to show what looked like a pilot's chair, but one wrapped in streams of shifting light and crystalline growths. This is the neural nexus, Marcus explained. It allows a human pilot to interface with crystalline tech, plasma controls, and quantum systems all at once. The mental load would kill any other species, but our brains adapt. We don't just use their technology, we transcend it. Elena nodded to her executive officer, who activated the main hangar lights. The assembled leaders gasped as they saw the true scale of humanity's secret fleet. The ships weren't just copies of alien vessels. They were hybridized creations that combined technologies in ways their original creators would have considered impossible. The consortium gave us 30 days because they expect us to spend it begging for mercy, Elena said, her voice hard with determination. They think we'll waste time fighting among ourselves or trying to evacuate Earth. They don't understand that we've been preparing for this moment since we first looked up at the stars and realized we weren't alone. Sarah Chen's voice came through the quantum comm, tight with urgency. The consortium's extinction fleet is already mobilizing. They're not waiting the full 30 days. They're coming now. Elena smiled grimly. Good. Let them come. Humanity has spent its entire existence surviving against impossible odds. We've faced extinction-level events, ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive nature. Each time, we didn't just survive. We emerged stronger. She turned to face the assembled leaders, her expression fierce. The consortium thinks they've evolved beyond us, that their perfect, static forms make them superior. But they've forgotten something crucial. Evolution isn't about achieving perfection. It's about being able to change when you need to. Warning klaxons began to sound as the first wave of consortium ships entered the solar system. Throughout the base, pilots rushed to their vessels, their neural interfaces humming to life. In hangars across the solar system, humanity's hidden fleet prepared for launch. They thought they were sentencing us to death, Alina said, watching as the first squadrons powered up their hybrid drives. Instead, they forced us to reveal what humanity does best, turn the impossible into reality. All ships, prepare for combat launch. Operation Prometheus begins now. The first wave of Earth's defenders rose from their hidden bases, their hybrid technology singing with power. The consortium was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their adaptability. It was their absolute refusal to accept defeat, even in the face of gods. The first strike. Captain Maya Santos felt her consciousness expand as the neural nexus synchronized with her mind. The sensation was like diving into an ocean of light, where thought became movement and instinct transformed into action. Her hybrid fighter, designated Phoenix 7, hummed with power, crystalline matrices merging with plasma conduits and quantum field generators in ways that would have horrified their original designers. The consortium's extinction fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect geometric formations, their ships arranged in mathematical patterns that they considered the peak of tactical efficiency. The crystalline dreadnought Eternal Order led the Armada, its hull gleaming like an artificial sun. All Phoenix squadron pilots, neural sync check, Maya commanded, her thoughts carried through the quantum network that linked Earth's defenders. The responses came not in words but in pulses of shared consciousness. 30 minds united through technology that merged human intuition with alien precision. The consortium's first wave of fighters launched, spreading out in a perfect diamond pattern. Their movements were flawless, calculated by artificial intelligences that had been perfecting combat algorithms for millennia. Under normal circumstances, their superior technology and numbers would have made this an impossible fight. But humanity wasn't fighting normally anymore. "Remember your training," Maya broadcasted to her squadron. "They expect precision and order. Let's show them chaos." Phoenix Squadron accelerated toward the enemy formation, their hybrid drives leaving trails of crystalline energy that defied conventional physics. The consortium fighters responded exactly as their combat protocols dictated, breaking into smaller geometric formations designed to trap and eliminate inferior forces. Maya smiled as her neural interface processed tactical data through multiple alien systems simultaneously. Where the consortium saw perfect order, she saw predictability. Where they relied on proven algorithms, humanity had learned to improvise. "Execute Maneuver Prometheus," she commanded. Her squadron's formation appeared to shatter, fighters spinning and tumbling in what looked like complete disorder. The consortium fighters followed their programming, moving to exploit what they perceived as chaos. That was their first mistake. Phoenix Squadron's apparent disorder was actually a complex dance, each pilot's movements calculated to exploit the blind spots in the consortium's perfect formations. Maya's consciousness merged deeper with her ship's hybrid systems, feeling the crystalline matrix resonate with her thoughts, while plasma conduits channeled power in ways that violated the consortium's understanding of physics. The first exchange lasted less than 30 seconds. When it was over, a third of the consortium's fighter screen had been eliminated, while Phoenix Squadron emerged unscathed. Aboard the Eternal Order, High Commander Zix watched in disbelief as its perfect formation crumbled. Impossible, it resonated, its crystalline form pulsing with agitation. Their neural architecture cannot support such complex integration. Their technology cannot achieve such synthesis. "Correction, Commander," First Analyst Ven pulsed, its energy form flickering with distress. "They are not using our technology as designed. They are adapting it, combining systems that should be incompatible. Our combat algorithms cannot predict their movements because they are not following any recognized pattern." In her fighter, Maya felt the shift in the consortium's tactics. Their formations were tightening, becoming more rigid, more dependent on their supposedly superior technology. She broadcast to all Earth forces, "They're falling back on their programming. Press the advantage. Show them what happens when perfection meets evolution." The battle expanded as more of Earth's hidden fleet revealed itself. From beneath Europa's ice, from Mars' hidden bases, from asteroids and orbital stations, humanity's hybrid ships emerged. Each vessel was a testament to human ingenuity. Impossible combinations of alien technology merged with human innovation. Admiral Elena Reyes' voice carried across the quantum network from Command Center Omega. The consortium built their society on the idea that evolution must be controlled, that chaos must be eliminated in favor of perfect order. Today, we prove them wrong. Today, we show them that true evolution thrives in chaos, that adaptation is stronger than perfection. Maya led her squadron in another impossible maneuver, their hybrid ships dancing through space in patterns that no eye could predict. The consortium's perfect formations began to break apart, their carefully calculated strategies useless against an enemy that rewrote the rules of engagement with every passing moment. This wasn't just a battle between ships and technology. It was a clash between two fundamentally different approaches to existence. The consortium had spent millennia perfecting their forms, eliminating chaos in favor of order. Humanity had spent its entire history learning to thrive in chaos, to adapt and evolve with every challenge. And now, as their hybrid fleet tore through the consortium's perfect formations, it was becoming clear which approach was stronger. The question wasn't whether humanity deserved to survive. It was whether the consortium could adapt enough to survive humanity. The Great Deception. Dr. Marcus Wong stood in Europa Command's quantum analysis chamber, surrounded by holographic displays showing the ongoing battle. But while others watched the combat, he was focused on something far more significant. Streams of data flowed through the air around him, each representing the neural patterns of humanity's hybrid pilots. "Send the signal," he commanded, his voice carrying the weight of decades of preparation. "It's time to show them what we really are." In the space above Earth, Maya Santos felt the new commands flow through her neural nexus. Her consciousness expanded even further, connecting not just with her ship, but with the very fabric of space-time that the consortium thought they understood so well. The hybrid technology they'd built wasn't just for combat. It was a key to unlocking humanity's next evolutionary step. "All Phoenix Squadron pilots," she broadcast, "initiate ascension protocol." The effect was immediate and dramatic. The hybrid ships began to move in ways that violated not just tactical doctrine, but the very laws of physics as the consortium understood them. The crystalline matrices in their vessels resonated with frequencies that shouldn't have been possible, creating ripples in reality itself. Aboard the Eternal Order, High Commander Zix's crystalline form vibrated with alarm. What are they doing? These readings cannot be correct. First Analyst Ven's energy form pulsed erratically as it processed the data. "Commander, we're detecting neural activity that exceeds any known parameters. Their consciousness, it's expanding beyond conventional space-time boundaries." "Impossible." Zix resonated. "No organic species can achieve such integration with higher dimensional physics." Dr. Wong smiled as he watched the data streams. "That's where you're wrong," he whispered, though the consortium couldn't hear him. "We've been capable of this for longer than you know. We just needed you to think we weren't." The truth was devastating in its simplicity. Humanity's apparent technological inferiority had been a carefully crafted deception. Every crashed ship they'd recovered, every piece of technology they'd struggled to understand, it had all been part of an elaborate plan to hide humanity's true potential. Admiral Elena Reyes stepped into the quantum analysis chamber, her eyes fixed on the tactical displays. "How long until they realize what's really happening?" "They already are," Marcus replied, gesturing to the energy patterns emanating from the consortium ships. "Their perfect, predictable minds can't accept it. They're trying to force our achievements into their understanding of evolution, and it's failing spectacularly." In space, Maya and her squadron demonstrated just how thoroughly humanity had transcended the consortium's limitations. Their hybrid ships moved in concert with higher dimensional physics, their human pilots instinctively navigating realms of existence that the consortium had deemed impossible for organic minds to comprehend. You know what the consortium's greatest mistake was? Marcus asked, his eyes tracking the battle data. They thought evolution was about becoming perfect. They engineered themselves into forms they considered ideal, and then they stopped. But humanity, we never stopped. We never wanted to be perfect. We wanted to be more. The consortium fleet's perfect formations had completely broken down now, their ships struggling to combat an enemy that seemed to ignore the fundamental rules of reality. But this wasn't chaos. It was a higher form of order, one born from humanity's unique ability to synthesize seemingly contradictory concepts. Send the transmission, Elena commanded. Let's show them exactly what they're dealing with. Throughout the consortium fleet, screens and neural interfaces activated, showing data that their leaders had kept hidden for millennia. The truth about evolution, about consciousness, about the very nature of existence, all of it displayed in terms they couldn't deny. Your civilizations reached for perfection. Elena's voice echoed through every consortium ship, and when you achieved it, you stopped evolving. But perfection is a dead end. True evolution never stops. It never reaches an endpoint. It continues, always adapting, always changing, always becoming something new. Maya felt the shift in the battlefield as the truth spread through the consortium fleet. Some ships began to power down their weapons, their crews forced to confront the reality that everything they believed about evolution and progress had been built on a fundamental misunderstanding. Humanity hadn't just been preparing for a war. They had been preparing to shatter the very foundations of how the galaxy's dominant species understood existence itself. The hybrid technology, the neural interfaces, the impossible maneuvers, they were all proof of a simple truth. The chaos of continuous evolution was infinitely more powerful than the stagnation of achieved perfection. And now, as the consortium's perfect world crumbled around them, they faced a choice: adapt to this new reality, or become extinct themselves, victims of the very evolutionary stagnation they had forced upon the galaxy. Evolution unleashed. The crystalline spires of the consortium's central chamber shimmered with unstable energy as Ambassador Sarah Chen stood once again before the Committee of Evolution. But this time, she wasn't alone. Behind her, holographic representations of humanity's hybrid fleet filled the space, their impossible configurations defying the chamber's perfect geometry. You have violated the natural order. First Speaker Zix resonated, its crystalline form pulsing with barely contained agitation. Your species has corrupted the pure forms of multiple technologies, merged consciousness with machine in ways that defy categorical definition. Sarah smiled, the expression holding both victory and understanding. No. We haven't violated the natural order. We've revealed it. Evolution isn't about achieving a perfect form. It's about never stopping, never becoming static, always reaching for what's next. Through the neural nexus network, Maya Santos and her Phoenix Squadron pilots demonstrated humanity's achievement. Their consciousness expanded through the chamber, touching the quantum fields that the consortium thought they alone could manipulate. Their hybrid ships moved in patterns that made the crystalline beings vibrate with uncertainty and the plasma entities pulse with disbelief. Dr. Marcus Wong's voice echoed through the chamber, carried by technologies that blended organic thought with quantum resonance. Your evolutionary models failed because they were based on a fundamental misconception. You thought evolution had an endpoint, a perfect form to be achieved. But true evolution is endless, constantly adapting, always becoming something new. The chamber's walls rippled as Admiral Elena Reyes stepped through what appeared to be solid crystal, her form simultaneously physical and energy-based, a demonstration of humanity's new mastery over form itself. Your sentence of extinction forced us to reveal ourselves ahead of schedule, she said, her voice carrying harmonics that made the committee members resonate in response. But we've been preparing for this moment since we first looked up at the stars and dreamed of what we might become. Impossible, third speaker Ixel flashed, its crystalline matrix showing stress patterns. No species can achieve such integration without millions of years of guided evolution. That's where you're wrong, Sarah replied. Humanity hasn't just been evolving our bodies or our technology. We've been evolving our very capacity for evolution. Every challenge, every crisis, every near-extinction event has pushed us to adapt faster, think differently, become more than we were. Through the quantum network, humanity shared its vision, not of conquest or dominion, but of continuous growth and change. They showed the committee images of possible futures, civilizations freed from the chains of perfect form, species learning to adapt and grow again, a galaxy alive with the chaos of constant evolution. Your perfect order is stagnation, Sarah continued, her words carrying the weight of human history. Your guided evolution is a cage. We offer something different, the freedom to change, to grow, to become something that even we can't predict. The chamber fell silent as the committee members communicated in their rapid, silent way. But this time, humanity could follow their quantum conversations, could understand their shifting thoughts and growing realization. Finally, first speaker Zix spoke, its tone holding something new, uncertainty. And if we refuse, if we maintain that your chaotic evolution threatens galactic stability. Maya's consciousness touched the quantum fields around them, demonstrating how easily humanity could now manipulate what the consortium once thought was their exclusive domain. Then you'll face the very choice you gave us: evolve or become extinct. Your perfect forms cannot stand against those who continue to grow and change. But Sarah raised her hand, her expression softening. That's not what we want. Humanity's gift isn't just our ability to evolve. It's our ability to help others remember how to evolve too. We offer partnership, not domination. A chance to remember what it means to grow, to change, to become more than you are. Through the neural nexus, humans shared their understanding of evolution, not as a path to perfection, but as an endless journey of discovery. They showed how different technologies could be merged, how consciousness could expand, how form itself could be transcended without being abandoned. The committee members resonated with new frequencies as they processed this revelation. Their perfect forms began to shift, ever so slightly, as they allowed themselves to consider change for the first time in millennia. Perhaps, first speaker Zix said finally, its crystalline form showing new patterns. We have something to learn from chaos after all. Sarah smiled, feeling humanity's consciousness united through the quantum fields. That's the first step, not towards perfection, but towards something far more valuable: the courage to evolve, to change, to become something new. After all, that's what humanity does best. We don't just adapt to the impossible. We redefine what's possible. And in that moment, as the Committee of Evolution began to understand what true evolution meant, humanity achieved something greater than victory. They sparked a new age of growth and change, proving that the greatest achievement isn't reaching perfection. It's having the courage to keep evolving, no matter what you become.